Hi everybody, this is Mr. Purdy. This is a video that I told you I was going to make on some of these longer equations. This is for those students who are curious about Algebra 1 and entering Algebra 1 next year as an 8th grader. So this video is really for Math 7 students who are planning on going to Algebra. Now anybody is welcome to watch this video, but this is really intended for those who are going to Algebra 1 as an 8th grader next year. And yeah, I've got 5 examples. Feel free to write these down. Just hit pause and write these down on paper and do these with me if you want, or you can just watch the video. But these are the types of equations that you're going to encounter in Algebra 1 next year. Now, your teacher will cover this very quickly. Okay, they'll review maybe 1 steps and 2 steps very quickly, and then some of these, but then they're going to go a lot deeper than this. So let me just show you a couple of these that you'll need to know going into Algebra 1. Hope you're doing great, and yeah, it's been a great year. Here we go. Let me just show you. Now, this is hard because I'm trying to hold the camera and write at the same time, so I'll do the best I can. All right, if you notice here, what we have, unlike in Math 7, when we had just a 2-step equation, now you've got a variable here, 5x, and a variable here, 2x. And we're going to need to combine those. We're going to need to add these together. We're not going to do any inverse operations. We're not going to cross the equal sign. We're just going to take 5x plus 2x, which is 7x. I'm just going to combine some like terms. So 5x plus 2x becomes 7x. I don't have an x here. It's just a number. So I'm going to put minus 23 right next to the 7x. And all this equals 5. Now we're down to the 2-step equation that Math 7 students love so much. So now I'm going to go ahead and just add 23. I'm going to add 23 here. I'm sorry, I am left-handed, so I'm going to be in the way a little bit. Sorry. And I'm going to bring the 7x down, and that's going to be equal to 28. I'm going to divide both sides by 7, and I'm going to get x equals 4. By the way, I'm showing you 5 equations. You're going to have to know how to do this with inequalities as well. The only difference would be like this would be like less than or equal to, and you'll have to graph it and that kind of thing. Now today it's just equations, but be aware that you'll have to do this with an inequality as well. So for today it's just x equals 4, and you can check your answer by plugging it back in for x here and x here. Okay, 5 of these. Next one. Okay, you'll be asked to distribute next year. Now we kind of covered this a little bit in Math 7, but not a whole lot. Okay, so we're going to take -8, and we're going to put an arrow, and we're going to multiply it here, and we're going to multiply it by here. Now, if I take -8 times 2, -8 times 2 is -16, and I got an x here, so I'm going to put the x down. Now, I've got a minus and a minus. It's going to end up being a positive sign, so what I'm going to do is drop down the minus sign here. See the minus sign? I'm going to drop it down, and then I'm going to take, and that, in a sense, that gets rid of this. Now I'm going to take -8 times +1. You have to just imagine that this is gone now. It's just a 1. -8 times +1 is -8. And all this equals 36. And by the way, when we do these, I really don't even care so much about the answer. I care about the process here, that we know how to combine like terms, distribute everything. Now, a double negative is a plus sign. That much you knew. We talked about that in Math 7 a lot. And look where you're at. You're down to a 2-step equation. I'm going to go ahead and subtract 8. Subtract 8. You'll always get down to a 2-step equation and a 1-step equation at the very end of any equation. It might start off being a whole lot, but it's always going to end up being a 1-step and 2-step. Now this one's going to give us a decimal answer, but that's okay. I'm going to divide both sides by -16. And I'm going to get x equals, give me a moment here. I think it's like -1.5, but I'm not sure. Calculator, turn the calculator on. I'm using an old-fashioned graphing calculator. 28 divided by 16 is 1. I was close, 1.75, but it's going to be negative. So I'm going to go back here. It's going to be -1.75, and we're done. Keep in mind that when you get to algebra, you're going to have decimal and fractional answers as well, not just a nice clean number. In Math 7, it was always like -7, 8, 14, 2, 7. You get the idea. In algebra, you'll still get those, but you're going to get answers that are going to be decimals as well. And always circle our answer. All right, that's 2 of them. Sorry, it's not. This is definitely not a professional video here because I am trying to hold the camera. Let's do one more. I like this one because this is distributive property and combining like terms. So what I'm going to have here, I want to solve for x. I'm going to take the -10. I'm just going to drop it down. I don't need it right now. I'm going to go ahead and distribute the 4 here and here. That means everything inside gets multiplied by 4. 4 times 3 is 12, so plus 12x. And then 4 times 10 is 40, so plus 40. And all that equals 18. Well, it is not easy trying to hold a camera and solve an equation at the same time. Let me just zoom in a little bit here. Now, we got to combine some like terms. So we don't find out all of our x terms. Here's our only x term. So I'm going to rewrite 12x. And now I want to combine -10 plus 40. Think about what that is. -10 plus 40 is positive 30. And all that equals 18. And by the way, this video is not meant to scare anybody away from Algebra 1, but I want to give you a good idea what this looks like. All right, once again, it's a two-step equation, folks. So now it's a plus 30. I'm going to subtract 30 here. I'm going to subtract 30 here. These are gone. So 12x will be equal to -12. 18 minus 30 is -12. I'm going to divide both sides by 12. Because that's the number in front of the x, and x will be equal to -1. Let's show the whole problem here for a minute. Remember, with these videos, you can always pause it, click and drag it to rewind it. There's all kinds of great things you can do with the video. Okay, there it is. All right, the last 2 here is when you have a variable on both sides of the equation. Now, this is easier than you think it is. Let me show you 2. These will get a little bit trickier in algebra, but let me show you the basic idea here. In Math 7, we never did this. We never had a variable on both sides of the equation. So here's the idea. This is an equation because there's an equal sign. You have a variable on the left side and a variable on the right side. And what you want to do is get all the variables to one side and all of the non-variables, with all the numbers without the x, to the other side. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the 2x. It's a positive 2x. I'm going to subtract it. I'm going to move it over here. I'm going to move an x term over just like I move a number over. I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. See, if I want to move this 2 over, I'll just subtract 2 from both sides. But you can move a 2x term the same way. See the 2x here? I'm going to subtract 2x here and here. Now these are gone. See? These are gone. So now what you have is 3x. 5x minus 2x is 3x. So 3x plus 2 is equal to 14. And once again, there's your Math 7 two-step equation. So I'm going to subtract 2. I'm going to subtract 2. 3x. Okay, this is not difficult in algebra, folks. It's just going to be a little different. So that's why I want to give you a little bit of exposure to this now. Hopefully you watch this at the end of the school year or over the summer or whenever. Doesn't matter when. Just at some point before you enter your algebra class. And there's your answer. Let me give you a look at the whole problem. Again, hit pause if you want to. Okay, we're at 9 minutes now. Let me do one more problem. I wanted to keep this video under 10 minutes. So there's our second to last one, and we'll finish up with this one right here. By the way, these 5 problems are all off of the Algebra 1 notes that I give my students. So this isn't just something I made up. I didn't water it down. These are all real algebra questions. All right, this one's got everything in it. Here we go. We'll end with this. All right, if you notice we have a v term here and another v here. So let's go ahead and, first of all, let's distribute the 5 here. I'm just going to rewrite this. 8v plus 77 equals, now I'm going to go and distribute. 5 times 5 is 25 minus, see the minus sign? I'm just going to write the minus sign here. And then 5 times v is actually 5v. Now, if you look at this, you've got a v on the left side and a v term on the right side. Now I need to move all, I'm going to take the negative 5v, I'm going to move all the v's to the left. So I'm going to go ahead and add 5v here, and I'm going to go ahead and add 5v here. Notice I can only add v's to v terms. I can't add it to the 77. I'm going to add the v term to another v term. So these are gone. That's why we did this. These are gone. So now what you have is 13v plus 77 is equal to 25. And again, there's our Math 7 two-step equation. It always comes down to it. Now I'm going to subtract 77. And you could do, at this point, you could do this in your sleep by now. And 13v is equal to negative 52. On your calculator, if you do 25 minus 77, you'll get negative 52. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 13. These are gone, all gone. That's why we did it. And so v by itself, v is equal to, now on your calculator, take 52 divided by 13, and you get negative 4. And we'll circle our answer. I know my writing's sloppy, and it's not, again, not a professional job, but I'm hoping that you all will actually watch this. I know I went way over 10 minutes, but I really need to show you these 5 questions. Okay, that's a good foundation for your equations going into Algebra 1. Please continue to review these, watch the video over the summer, and before you enter algebra as an 8th grader in the end of August, make sure you're ready for this, because I believe equations is in Unit 2. We do this kind of right off the bat in algebra. All right, love you all. Thanks for watching. You're wonderful.